This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
All right, everybody, it is time for the official Money in the Bank 2023 preview and prediction show. And tonight, I've got a returning co-host. You guys heard him a couple of weeks ago, and Thomas White is back to talk about Money in the Bank as we're going to go through all the matches, all the potential craziness, potential returns, all of it. And Thomas is here. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up? What's up? I am feeling so good right now. Finally, a pay-per-view week. I am ready. I am hyped. I'm turned. Shout out to everybody that's listening.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we're excited to have you here. And before we get going, I know that you also have a really a good, fun YouTube channel that is growing and growing quickly. So let everyone know where they can find you if they want to take a look at your channel.
Yes, youtube.com/Thomas Frank White or at Thomas Frank White or Who is Frankie. They got the at symbols and stuff now. So, like, you can find it all through them three things.
All right, very good. Yeah, no, I'd recommend everybody check it out. That's something that you'll spend a lot of time on. I'll tell you that right now. So, very good. Let's start with the Money in the Bank match, and I'll start obviously from the bottom here. And there's so much to get to, but we'll start here with the Women's Tag Team Championship. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are going to take on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I'm going to toss this one to you, my friend, first for your thoughts and predictions.
This one is crazy, but I really personally think Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler is going to win this match. They're going to win. I kind of think personally, I know people are going to look at me crazy, but they actually might win clean. You know, and this is the time that Raquel Rodriguez will turn heel. Mark my words, she is going to turn heel. Money in the Bank, I promise.
You took my thunder, brother. I mean, so yeah, no. Well, I'll say this. First of all, from the quality of the match standpoint, I think it'll be a good match. I don't think it's going to knock anyone's socks off when it comes to the quality of the match. I don't think we'll get any "this is awesome" chance. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong with with any prediction I have of a match not being great, but I think that you're right. This is not going to necessarily be about Ronda and Shayna winning. It's going to be about the dominance that they show and Raquel's frustration with maybe Liv accidentally costing her the match or Liv being pinned or submitted. And Raquel is going to show her frustration with that. And you're right. There was no better time to turn her heel. And the fans haven't really. I don't know how you feel about Raquel. I think she's a great talent. She's physically imposing. She's got a great look. She's young. She's got checking all the boxes. But I feel personally that she's been miscast as a babyface. I just don't think she fits that role well. And you hear the crowd, when they respond to her, and it's never overwhelmingly positive. It's just kind of a mix or kind of quiet. Like they don't quite know what to do with her.
Yes, I agree with you. Like, the crowd is a little shaky. Like, they're not cheering like how they cheer for Liv. There's a whole different reaction. I just feel like it's the perfect time. She act like a heel. She had the attitude as a heel. She works like a heel. Like everything is about her is heel. It screams heel. Like she has to be heel. Have to.
And when she worked with, Trish Stratus, not last Monday, but the Monday before, she was ragdolling her around. I mean, I know Trish was supposed to be the babyface or the heel in that match, but it felt like the complete opposite. I mean, Raquel was just toying with her. That's the markings of a heel. It's very difficult to have a sympathetic babyface that is just a giant among the rest of the women and stronger than 90% of the women. So, Yeah, if this doesn't happen and Raquel doesn't turn, I'll be very surprised. But regardless, I think you and I are on the same page here that Ronda and Shayna, there's just no chance of these two women losing the belts at all. I mean, they just also unified them from the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions as well. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, I mean, that's kind of the beginning, I think, of the show here. I don't know if it'll open with that, but that's certainly probably the least interesting when it comes to I mean, if you're gonna rank these matches, that's probably the bottom of it for most people. But Intercontinental Championship, Gunther, Matt Riddle. I'll toss this one to you one more time here. Who wins? Are you looking forward to the quality of the match? I would imagine it's going to be a very physical match.
Gunther is going to finally win clean. I'm pretty sure WWE is seeing the comments about how he needs help, and I think he really, really don't need help at all. But this is a huge but. This is it, guys. I know you guys going to predict the same thing. Imperium will come at the end of the match, jump in, Matt Riddle, and you're going to hear that Randy Orton theme song come. But mine is a little twist, though. I feel like Randy Orton is going to RKO Matt Riddle after he returns. That same exact night. That's how I really feel. I really predict that.
Wow. I don't dislike that. You're messing up my prediction for the main event because you're convincing me otherwise. I think there's more of a feeling now than there has ever been so far that Randy Orton is returning in some form or fashion tomorrow night tomorrow afternoon, depending on when you're watching. Or, I'm sorry, Saturday afternoon. And so it really does feel like Orton could come here to be the White Knight, to save Riddle after a beatdown from Imperium, just bludgeoning him, and then all of a sudden, I hear voices, and the crowd goes crazy, and Orton's coming down. Maybe he does RKO everyone in Imperium, but then he also RKOs Matt Riddle. I mean, maybe that's what it is, but you're right. Orton and Riddle was a match that was supposed to happen years ago. They were never supposed to be a thing, and all of a sudden they caught fire. WWE capitalized as they should have, and they stayed together much longer than anyone thought they would, but eventually you knew the other shoe was going to drop. You knew Orton was going to really turn on Riddle. So that's very plausible. I could also see Orton just coming down to help Riddle, and it's just for a little while they reunite. I think that's also possible.
Yep, that's 100% possible. I agree with that too. That could actually happen. The same thing. So, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited.
It's crazy. We're all excited about, so far, just the after-match antics about these two matches. We're about Raquel turning heel, Orton returning. We're not even focusing on the actual matches. But I will say this about Gunther and Riddle. I think that match is going to be a lot of ooh, ah. Like you can almost feel the strikes that these two are going to give each other.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be as physical as Sheamus and Gunther, but it's going to be in the conversation, for that. And I don't envy Riddle at all. I think he's going to wake up Sunday morning feeling like he got hit by a truck. The amount of chops and the amount of bruising he's going to have on his body is going to be a very difficult morning to get out of bed for him. But I'm with you as well. I mean, Gunther, I don't think there's any chance he loses here either. While he's been reigning for a long time, Riddle just doesn't seem like the right guy to take it off of Gunther. I mean, you seem to be in that same boat as well, right? You don't see Riddle in any scenario winning the IC title.
I don't see it, but I will say this. Much respect to Riddle. He is very good in the ring, but I just don't see it. I can see oh my gosh, he got a moment type of moment. The moments that get us on the edge of the seats, like, oh, he's about to do it. Wait, it's the moments we will get in a match. I know for a fact. Riddle, he can handle it, but he will wake up sore.
Yeah, there's going to be a price to pay for the quality of the match here. And actually, I think this could be a dark horse match of the night. It could be, because of how talented both men are. I'm looking forward to this. Again, It's kind of flying under the radar because of some other big matches that are going on here. It hasn't been promoted exceptionally well, but when they get in the ring, since the bar is so low and there really hasn't been a really big story to this or really engaging story, I think it's going to be one of those that a lot of the crowd and people watching at home come away and go, wow, that was way better than I expected. And you get more emotionally involved as the match goes on, even though the lead up to the story was not great. So Gunther wins. I think you and I are with each other on that. And Randy Orton, I percentage-wise, if someone's going to say is Orton going to come out, I'd give it like a 33% chance. I mean, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming. Maybe 50-50, but every time you turn around, you hear Randy Orton report, oh, he's ready. Oh, he's back. He might be, his wrestling career's over. Oh, he's coming back in like a couple of weeks. Oh, wait, no, I think he's, he's dead, right? Like, it seems that they just constantly are playing with reports on Randy Orton's condition. So I would give it a significant chance, but not overwhelming that Orton returns here.
I agree, yep.
All right, let's get to the next match here, and we have Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio. I'll take this one quickly, just kind of a high level review of this, and then I'll toss it to you. This one, to me, I think everyone feels like they know the finish, and we all know what we're going to say about this finish, and it still could happen. But when we have a finish that is just so seemingly set in stone that the fans feel like they're so smart and know what's going to happen, the tendency is for WWE to do something a little bit different. And it's possible Cody does beat Dom here. It's possible he does, because the overwhelming favorite is for Dom to win with the interference from Brock. I mean, that's been talked about for weeks and weeks now, and it's still the general feeling among most people. I think the match quality is going to be good. I have no problem there. It's not going to be match of the night or anything. I expect just a very quality match with a lot of cheap shots from Dom, a lot of interference from Mommy, that kind of thing. And ultimately, do I think Dom wins? This is actually a little difficult because Cody should outright beat him, and Dominic should win. But the question is, where's Brock? I mean, so I'm going to leave my thoughts. I really have been on the fence all day about this. It's difficult because of the seemingly almost too predictable, but I'll toss it to you for your thoughts.
Whew, okay, all right, so I agree with what you just said. The whole world think Brock Lesnar is going to interfere and Dominic is going to win, but this is what's about to mess with everybody's brains right now. What I'm about to pitch to you, Matt, you're gonna look at the phone and say, "Wait, hold on." So this is what I think going to happen. Cody's going to win because of his wife, Brandy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's going to come out because of Rhea Ripley keeps distracting the referee. And the reason why she's going to come out, because she tweeted something a couple weeks ago that people forgot. She said, Poppy won't hit Mommy, but Mommy will. People got to think about that. So I think she's going to come out and definitely help Cody win this match. That's what I think. Brock is not coming right now. It's too predictable.
Wow. I didn't even know about that tweet. I bet you most people listening didn't know about that tweet, because most people, other than smart fans like yourself, don't follow Cody Rhodes' wife, Brandy, her Twitter feed. I mean, I just don't. But that is very telling. That's very telling. It makes total sense. They're not going to have Cody retaliate against Rhea, so the female to female action absolutely would make sense. And having her come out for the first time on WWE television is also very significant to help her husband. That would be a great story, and I do like that. So, what would be your timing then for Brock and Cody? Because Cody is going to face Brock at SummerSlam. I mean, I just don't see any other way around it. So to you, in your thoughts, when does Brock come back to attack Cody and take his challenge?
And that was the mix-up I had. So I was thinking the next night, because he's known for coming back. Like, doing regular TV. Some, he returned on Money in the Bank before, but it's so hard. This one is hard because he still could come out during that match, but it wouldn't make sense to have two big returns. So I would pit it Monday.
I think
no. Yeah, it's so hard. You gotta help me out with this one.
see my dilemma. It's just, if it wasn't so just generally believed about the finish of Brock would make sense. But I think that WWE goes, the cat's out of the bag on this one. It seems too predictable. We got to change it. It's still possible they don't, and it's still possible Brock comes out. Maybe Cody, in your scenario, it plays out exactly as you said, except after the match when Cody's celebrating, he comes out and F5s Cody. Maybe even ups the ante and his wife gets F5'd. I know they don't do a whole lot of that anymore, but Randy Orton seems to be getting the for whatever reason, the green light. He's done it a few times in the PG era to a few women. I don't know if Brock would, but how about upping the ante by having Brock attack his wife as he's celebrating? Just a single F5, just something simple. We're going like 3 steps ahead, but it would up the ante, up the violence, up the ante. I mean, it would be, I think, the next level. Man, I want Dom to win because the heat would be insane. But I also know the temptation for Cody to win because it's so predictable that he doesn't. I'm gonna go with Cody only because I like your scenario, but also it seems like there's going to be a lot of other heel victories on this pay-per-view. So to balance out some of those heel victories, like Gunther, like, as we just mentioned, Ronda and Shayna, this I think would deodorize some of those heel victories, and I think Cody getting a victory here wouldn't hurt Dom because Dom is a heat magnet regardless, and you could have Brock at the end come out and hit an F5 and do what he needs to do.
Yes, I agree with that because for Dom, all he has to do is come back to the ring and say, Cody beat me by luck. You guys know it was luck. Yeah. He cannot do it again. So Dom already got the heat. He could afford this loss. He could afford it. He could definitely afford it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people hate him so much. It's not going to be satisfying enough for people to go, oh, okay, we're not going to boo Dom anymore because Cody beat him. And I mean, Dominic is so genuinely, deeply disliked by fans. It's so enjoyable to watch that he's not going to be hurt by a single loss here to Cody because Dominic after this is going his separate way to whoever, and Cody obviously is moving on to Brock. So this is a kind of a one-off for the time being. So I'm going to go with Cody. I was very much leaning Dominic for a while and then thinking of how predictable it was. Yeah, so far you and I are 3 for 3 on the predictions down the line here. So any thoughts, any final thoughts on Cody and Dominic before we continue on with the card?
No, there's not really no thoughts, but WWE kind of made it predictable because, Dominic kept, every week getting cheap shots. We know what's going to happen now. All we worrying about is the finish. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's true. And Cody Rhodes has only lost one match, I believe only one match to, 2 matches. He's lost once to Brock and he's lost once to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So I don't think adding Dominic Mysterio to that list would be something they want to do at this time. Having Cody only lose to top talent, I think right now is something that they want to do. Plus, if Cody's going into a match with Brock, you would want Cody to have some momentum going into that match. So, all right, let's do it. Let's now we're really cooking with gas here. Let's talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. Who takes this?
This one was a tough one for me, only because all the things that's going on, especially with the people that's inside the Money in the Bank. So I will say, Seth. First of all, it's going to be a great match. Let me just say that now. This match is going to be great. They're both awesome. I mean, awesome in the ring. Chemistry is on point. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a lot of holy shits moments. All right. So, but I think Seth is going to win. But for some reason, I think this is the day that Finn Balor will be out the Judgment Day. And I personally think that he might get attacked by the Judgment Day, depending on when this match is going to be placed on the match card.
Yeah, the match placement is going to be very interesting. Does this end the show? Does this come close to ending the show, or does it happen after or before the Money in the Bank ladder matches? That is going to be something that is definitely going to factor into the winner here, because, as you mentioned, what if Damian Priest wins? I don't know. I mean, like, I think... Now, I'm not tipping my hand here. I actually, spoiler, I don't think Damian Priest is going to win, but he's in the conversation. But as far as this match goes, I'm with you that this is, on paper, the match of the night. On paper, this match, you're going, oh my God, these two know each other so well. There's so much history. They are absolute ring generals. They are professionals, and they are just exceptional in the ring. So this match on paper is almost at an unfair level, where you look at this and go, oh my God, this has to be a 5-star match. So the expectation is almost unfairly high. I think it's going to be, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I mean, I'm kind of tampering my expectations, not because I don't think they can put on a 5-star match, but those kinds of matches are so rare and are almost, you have to have every star line to no pun intended, to have that happen. So anyway, I think Seth does retain, only because this is, as you mentioned, going to lead, I think, to a Finn Balor ousting of the Judgment Day, or at least starting to. I'm a step behind you, where I think actually Damian's going to come out and try to help Finn, or look like he's helping Finn, and there's a mix-up, some accidental interference from Damian on Finn. He accidentally trips Finn instead of Seth, or hits Finn instead of Seth, or something, and that costs Finn the match. Seth Rollins hits the stomp, 1, 2, 3. Finn and Damian continue their tension, which eventually leads to a complete split.
I kind of like your prediction better. You hit it on a money right there. I didn't even think about that. You got it. This one, I could rock with you on this one. This one, wow, that's a great finish. Great finish.
Well, yeah, it's to me, it's just because otherwise, if you have Damian and Judgment Day just come out and beat Finn Balor down, I think you're going from chapter 1 to chapter 4 instead of chapter 2 and 3 being read to you. I think that's too much of a leap yet to go to Finn just being completely beaten down by Judgment Day. There has to be a story told of a little bit of tension built, and eventually Finn and Damian. And I've heard J.D. McDonough coming in, and he, there is some evidence to that as well. So Finn Balor, though, is I think on his way to turning babyface. I mean, once he's ousted from the Judgment Day, he's obviously going to be a very big babyface. Back to Finn Balor. I loved that promo we cut on Raw in the smoky room. No one could chant at him. No more Seth Rollins sing-along songs. It was a very well-done promo that was uninterrupted, and I really enjoyed it. So I think Finn Balor's on his way after this to Splitsville with the Judgment Day. I just think it's going to take probably another few weeks, maybe even the official split at SummerSlam. So that's my thought.
I agree with you. And yes, that promo was amazing. Like, WWE should start doing more promos like that. I kind of like them sometimes better than straight in the ring.
Mm-hmm. I actually think that the conundrum that happened a few weeks ago in Kansas with the crowd completely crapping all over the Finn Balor promo was a blessing in disguise, because I don't think we would have gotten this pre-taped promo if the promo Finn Balor wanted to cut in front of the live crowd happened. I think this was a replacement of that promo, that all the things he wanted to say, backstage uninterrupted, where, he doesn't have to worry about the crowd. And those are some of the things he wanted to say live. So I actually think this is a better promo than he probably even would have cut, even if the crowd didn't even interrupt him a few weeks ago. So,
yep, I agree.
All right, let's talk about the ladder matches. We've got the women's, and I actually think this could open the show. if I was to guess, because anytime there's a men's and women's counterpart match, like if there's Hell in a Cell or Royal Rumbles or whatever, there's the male and female counterparts. I think this one will open the show. And if I was to guess really specifically, not that this really matters for anything, I think Becky Lynch opens the show with her, being the first entrant. They want a big star, get the crowd going. So I think this opens the show specifically with Becky Lynch opening or coming out first. And this also seems like it's kind of conglomerating around one person, and rightfully so. But there are some contenders in here outside of Io Sky that everyone believes that is believable. I mean, you have Becky Lynch, biggest star in the match without a doubt. You have Zoe Stark, probably not in the conversation. You have Trish Stratus, who, while she is not exactly got a whole lot of days in front of her, is a legend, and you could make an argument for her winning if you want to. And then you have Bayley, who also could win it, and then maybe cash in on the world champion or the WWE champion and win that way, but. I think the story here is around Io, and not Zelina Vega, not Becky. Becky and Trish and Zoe are all in their own world. This is just a match they all happen to be involved in. That program is not done yet. So I think that at the end of the day, it probably is Io Sky that wins, and you have Io, or you have Bayley get jealous of Io, and there's going to be some interaction between them in the match. I think this is a Io Sky victory. But hey, there are other candidates out there. I don't know if you feel differently.
Oh, yes. I feel like I'm with you with Io Sky winning. I believe she's going to win. I feel like it's going to be a point of the match that Bayley and Io is going to be on top of the ladders together, and Io actually knock her down to grab the briefcase. But I also think that Bayley could win, then for some reason something happens to the point they have a match that Io challenged her to a match for the briefcase. Something like that. That's how I feel like, something like that. And I think she's going to win the briefcase but end up losing it. That's going to bring out the real beef right there.
Ooh, yeah, that is... I didn't think about that. You're on step 2. You're playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. That's what you're doing, right? So I don't. Yeah, I mean, regardless of whether Bayley or Io win, this is leading to a split, a hard split with Io and Bayley, and to absolutely nobody's sadness will the group of Damage Control be missed. I mean, that group is gone. It should be gone. They tried, and you know what? I give them credit, but it's been a year. It's over. It's just it's done. It's done. They tried. It didn't work. Yep. It's boring. They didn't have chemistry, and you move on. So no one is going to care that this group is dead and gone. And Io and Bayley are going to have some great matches, and that should be a whole lot of fun. And you're right. Either way, even if Bayley wins and then Io picks it up later, I think Io is probably the one to win this ultimately and cash in. So, yeah. So, but match quality, I think this is also going to be a whole lot of fun. Seeing what Io Sky can do with a ladder is going to be, it's intriguing to me.
I'm very interested to see what Trish Stratus is going to do.
Ooh.
This is going to, I really want to see how she handled this ladder, like the Money in the Bank ladder match. Trish Stratus at her age, I want to see. I can't wait to see.
Trish has gone, I got to give her credit. I mean, she's older, no doubt. She's not in her 20s anymore, but when she turned heel, I said, okay, there's clearly more to this than just the one-off. They have a bit of a multi-month program here, and it could end up being finalized at SummerSlam. But I am with you. To see what kind of bump she takes is going to be something I'm looking out for at her age. Not that I want her doing a swanton bomb off the top of the ladder, but like to see at her age what kind of bumps she is taking is going to be interesting. And she seems in incredible shape, and credit to her. I mean, she has, at her age, she has basically turned back the hands of time, and good for her. But, yeah, that's an interesting little tidbit. I think a lot of people are going to be watching out for that, as Trish has nothing left to prove. And if she's on her way out, I would imagine that she's not going to be taking any death-defying leaps.
No way. I just think I personally think WWE using Trish Stratus right now. Like, I really thought it was going to be a one-off. She's on a roster. She's on the WWE roster. Like, she is not playing. Like, I don't know how much left she got in the tank, but I don't know. It looking real good for her right now.
Yeah, it is, and I'm with you on the heel turn. I am a big fan of it. Now, Trish hasn't ever been known to cut A+ promos. She's not exactly MJF on the mic, but I think she's much more comfortable as a heel than as a babyface. As a babyface, I feel like she feels uncomfortable. She's always worried about trying to make the crowd happy. As a heel, she feels much more herself. So I've really enjoyed this version of Trish, the whole thank you Trish thing. Also trying to build Zoe Stark. I mean, the whole, obviously the dynamic there is trying to create new stars with existing stars, and I'm all for that. So, yeah, to me, this has been a success for a Trish Stratus return overall. So, all right, time for the men's side of things. I'm not even going to mention anything. I'll just give you the competitors: Ricochet, Nakamura, Santos Escobar, Butch, Priest, Logan Paul, and Mr. LA Knight. I'm just going to leave this one to you, as there is a incredibly overwhelming favorite here, which scares the hell out of me. But I'll toss it to you. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, this match is going to be phenomenal. Let me just say that for you guys right now. The things that Logan Paul is going to do in this match is going to be insane, such as Ricochet too. But I might be jumping the gun right now, and I'm going to say this to you guys. Just bear with me, everybody, when y'all hear this. I think LA Knight is going to win, but he's going to cash in that same night. There's one person on the roster, one champion that's not getting defended. There's one person that's really going to step up and say, hey, why I wasn't on Money in the Bank? Why I don't have a match? And he's going to get attacked. Here comes LA Knight coming down the ring to cash in on Austin Theory to win the U.S. Championship Saturday.
Ooh. That, I've heard that theory of Austin Theory. Look, Austin Theory has been really hitting the skids lately. Ever since he won against John Cena, which usually should be a positive turning point, has really been anything but for him. I don't know if they just weren't able to capitalize on that victory the right way, or they just had no creative at all for Austin Theory post-WrestleMania. Maybe a combination of both. I'm not sure. But Austin Theory has really been on a downslide for a while, and it's time, I think you're right, have him drop the belt and have him get repackaged, start from scratch with Austin Theory, not from a character perspective, but kind of rebuild him. Whatever you need to do with him to tweak him, you can do that without the belt. But let me get to the ladder match here. I'm with you on the quality of the match. Logan Paul, many people are fearful he's going to win, and I will say this again and again. Logan Paul should not win. There's no logical sense for him to win at all. This is about one man and one man only, and if you think anyone is going to get cheered other than LA Knight in London, I think you're sadly mistaken. Everyone, I think, it's really LA Knight or bust. Ricochet, there'll be a whole lot of cheering during the match, but when it comes to climbing the ladder, if LA Knight is not involved, I think the crowd's going to boo. I'm starting to get that feeling that there's a massive organic just tidal wave coming for LA Knight. And I have faith in the overseas crowds that are absolutely shaming the United States crowds. Every time they go overseas, it makes us look like children with their reactions in Puerto Rico and, in Montreal for Elimination Chamber and, Saudi Arabia. So I have faith that London is going to do us well and do us proud. And I think LA Knight is going to be a massively over babyface. And I expect this, as you said, Logan Paul is going to probably end up with several broken bones in this match. He is going to kill himself in this matchup with crazy stunts. Same with Ricochet. Those two are going to be absolute just insane when it comes to just, you're going to look at them and go, oh my God. Like, I mean, here comes the ref to put up the X sign. I mean, you're waiting for that. And I hope they don't go to that level, but I can see them pulling out all the stops here. But ultimately, I got to go with LA Knight. Now, do I think he cashes in on Austin Theory? I don't hate it. But my question would be, though, if you have any championship, why would you not want to cash it in for one of the top championships? I understand the stepping stone for Knight. You're not giving him the top belt right away. You're giving him that kind of in-between secondary workman's belt. But my question, though, for those that would say, well, why wouldn't you cash it in against against Roman Reigns, or why wouldn't he cash it in against Seth Rollins? You know, what would you say to that?
I would tell him straight like this. Seth Rollins just became champion. It's so hard to predict or even say that he's going to lose right now. Anyway, he had more defenses than Roman Reigns already this year than Roman Reigns had last year. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But I really think it's just too soon for Seth Rollins to lose. And Roman Reigns, they saving that for somebody else. I don't know. Roman Reigns, we looking at WrestleMania 40 as champion. Like, we waiting like forever for him to even drop these belts. Like, they're going to keep giving him different storylines to hold the title. Like, so, I mean, it could cash in on Seth, though. He could, because the amount of matches that Seth Rollins already having, that's a possibility. Later down the road, you know, they can hold it for a year. So, yeah, that's true.
I'm with you, though. Like, Seth just won it. There's no need to take it off of him. What they're trying to do with Seth is very transparent. They're trying to make him the anti-Roman, where he's defending it all the time. Roman is defending it once every 4 months now because, by the way, guys, SummerSlam is coming up. That'll be the next time he defends his belt, presumably, and that would be 4 months since WrestleMania, which is the last time he defended his belt. I mean, it's just getting egregiously ridiculous at this point. So they've created Seth Rollins as kind of the antidote to people complaining that, you know, they don't have a fighting world champion. Now, as I mentioned, there's some downsides to that too. You don't want to treat it like the 24/7 title where anyone gets a shot anytime. All they have to do is basically be employed by WWE and just ask. I think that the qualifications need to be a little bit higher than that, but. I understand the goal with Seth. I understand what they're trying to do. So if he does cash in, if LA Knight cashes in that night, I understand what you're saying. I mean, you could have Austin Theory come out and just cut a promo or whatever, and then all of a sudden LA Knight comes out, cashes in. Yeah. Or you could have LA Knight just kind of hold on to it for several months and, just kind of sit back and strategize and wait for his opportunity. That's also possible. So either way, you and I are in that same boat as well. LA Knight is going to win. I could see him not winning, but the crowd is going to lose their minds if LA Knight doesn't win.
Oh, they're going to go ballistic. If they have Damian Priest win, goodbye Seth Rollins, because Damian will be cashing it out very, very soon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that now. Goodbye, because they will be setting up Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I just hope they go with LA Knight. He deserves it. The crowd is behind him. It's the right thing to do. I can't see no different. Oh my gosh, they have to. Come on, look who's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. No disrespect. Come on, everybody. Come on, LA Knight. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. When you look at the lineup, I mean, Ricochet has zero chance of winning. He's there as just a placeholder to help elevate the quality of the match, and that's really it. Shinsuke, no, sorry. There's no chance Shinsuke wins here. Santos Escobar, he's not at that level yet. I know he's in the LWO, but he doesn't have that level, that kind of swagger yet. He doesn't feel like he's ready for that position. Butch, no. I mean, Butch hasn't even cut a promo yet, much less won anything. So Butch, no. And Logan Paul, you can't have Logan Paul win when you already have a heel champion for 3 years and Logan Paul, who is there every few months on the Roman Reigns schedule. It doesn't make sense, I think, for Logan Paul to win this. And, of course, Damian Priest, there is a case to be made, but ultimately it's got to be LA Knight. As you said, the rest of the field just doesn't make much sense at all. So, yeah, LA Knight, yep.
One more thing I got to say about Logan Paul. The reason why, I just want you guys to understand me, the reason why he can't win, we already seen Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. We already seen Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. We're going to get robbed at Money in the Bank if you win. I don't want to see it again. We've seen it. It was great. Let's move on to somebody new.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, because who is he going to cash in on? We've already seen that. And the dude has had, four matches in WWE, and all of a sudden he not only main events with Roman, but all of a sudden he wins Money in the Bank and then goes and hides on his podcast for 4 months. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. So I know the attention of Logan Paul winning would tempt some in WWE to do it because he has 20-some million subscribers on YouTube and across social media. Mm-hmm. So I totally understand the temptation that the amount of eyeballs it may bring to the product could result in more money, because sometimes, guys, what is creatively right isn't necessarily what's best for business, because if they're trying to put the most eyeballs on their product, that may not always align perfectly with what's best in creative. So I get the temptation, but from a fan perspective, they just can't do this. Please, you can't. He'll come close. Don't get me wrong. There will be moments where I'm sure you and I are sitting there going, "Oh my God, no," right? We'll have those moments that make our hearts stop. But ultimately, I do. Yeah, you and I are with that. The same outcome here. LA Knight wins, and the crowd goes crazy. So,
yep.
All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Main event: Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. This one's a little difficult, but I'll pass this one to you first and see if we have the same pick here.
I think it's going to be a great match. Awesome match. Maybe a real. I think it might be like a 4-star match right here. But I personally think that the Usos is going to win, but Solo gets pinned. They're going to try to save Roman. It's been since 2019. He's been pinned. They got to keep that going. But for some reason, I think it's going to be a brutal beatdown to the Usos. I don't know. Something's going to happen. Maybe a disqualification or something, and it's going to be a brutal beatdown to the Usos. That's what I personally think.
Yeah, this is tough. This may be the only match you and I disagree on, or the first or second match. Yeah, so Roman and Solo win. This is not. Again, I could be sold on both schools of thought, but I'm thinking Reigns and Solo win. But by hook or crook, interference from Paul Heyman, some kind of low blow or brass knucks or behind the referees nonsense. I think that they win, because here's the thing: you also, when you look at series of matches that babyfaces and heels have, usually the babyface does not win the first matchup. Usually it's saved for the second or third time that they meet up, so that you get that payoff, that satisfaction. And also you could argue that Roman Reigns remains undefeated and remains unpinned and unsubmitted, and they still could do that if Solo loses, but even more so if Roman Reigns wins this. What I think is going to happen is, after Reigns and Solo win because of Paul Heyman or other shenanigans, we'll probably get the identity of the person who's going to face Roman Reigns at the end of this event. And had you not said that Randy Orton was going to come out at the to aid Riddle or to hurt him, I would have said, hey, Randy Orton has beef with Roman. If obviously that's what in storyline put Randy out to begin with a year ago, was the bloodline. So there is unfinished business if they want to revisit it with Reigns and Randy Orton, and it would absolutely headline SummerSlam. So you could do Reigns and Orton, and just to send the crowd home happy without just Reigns and Solo standing there and everyone's booing. Randy Orton could be the one to come out and end up hitting RKO on Reigns, and the crowd goes crazy.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. I'm so focused on Randy Orton coming out during the Riddle match. I didn't put two and two together. The bloodline is the reason Randy Orton is out. Oh my God, my storyline. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, now my mind is going crazy. Now it's like,
sorry.
Oh my. oh my gosh. That's so true. That can actually 1,000% happen.
But my concern is, though, that since the Usos are now babyface, and they were actually part of the beatdown on Randy, it's kind of a weird dynamic if Randy only attacks Roman and lets the Usos go off, scot-free because, while they're babyfaces now, I can't attack them, even though they were part of the beatdown that put me out. So it gets a little weird, but if he attacks just Roman Reigns, I think that'll satisfy most people if they want to go that road. And it would make sense. Solo, though, has no beef with Orton, but by association, he does now. And that's if Randy Orton comes back. Again, you could have Drew McIntyre if you really want to go down that road again. But I think actually he's more likely to attack Seth Rollins after the Finn Balor match. So I think Drew McIntyre is much more likely. But as far as this goes, that's my pick. Roman and Solo win with a Randy Orton RKO to set up a SummerSlam program in just a little over a month.
I like that idea. It keeps the storyline going. I like that idea.
Well, I think we've concluded the pay-per-view, but I do want to ask about any potential returns that we didn't talk about that are floating out there that you think could happen. I mean, we mentioned Randy Orton, but do you think that there's anything else? And, of course, Brock, which we glossed over a little bit. And what do you think? Any other guys out there or gals that could make their return at Money in the Bank?
Oh, I'm looking maybe Big E. Big E maybe is a huge one that can return somehow, some way. Randy Orton, I think, is the biggest one. Drew McIntyre has been talked about a lot. That's pretty much, I think. I'm trying to think of any girls.
Yeah, no,
I can't recall.
Sasha. No, I don't. What about Bray Wyatt?
Oh, Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great return for him to come back. This actually will be a perfect time for him to come back too.
He could be
a perfect time. I could see him coming back.
I could too, and actually, while I'm not a big proponent of this for a couple of reasons, I could actually see Wyatt attacking Roman at the end of the match instead of Randy, given there's also beef with Reigns and Wyatt. Wyatt is the one that lost the Universal Championship to Roman that started his whole streak 3 years ago. So there is some nice symmetry there, but the problem is Bray, number one, healthy mentally and physically enough to do this program, and number two, is he capable of having a good match? We haven't seen that yet. He had 1 3-minute pitch black match that did nothing for Bray and everything for LA Knight. He has yet to prove he can even perform at that level, so there are some concerns, but it's possible that instead of Randy, it's Bray that ends up attacking Roman at the end of that match to set up SummerSlam. So,
yeah, I can see that happening. I can literally see that happening. And you're right, we haven't seen a lot from Bray Wyatt. What a horrible return! I just want to forget about it. That return right there it wasn't good. But they're great for LA Knight. Oh, LA Knight blew up because of it. But other than that, I don't. We need a new return, and I hope he gets his mind right. I hope he's able to wrestle inside the ring, like you said, and put on a great long match. But I would love to see Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt. I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's a match made for a big event, made for SummerSlam. But again, yeah, if there are concerns from a physical or mental standpoint, then obviously they won't do this. But if it's not Randy and it's not Bray for Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, I know we're looking ahead to SummerSlam already, but I guess this will just be my quick look-ahead question for you. If it's not Randy and it's not Bray and it's not Drew that ends up facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, who could face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam? One of the Usos or solo turn? I mean, like, where do you think they could go?
I guess they maybe go with Jimmy Uso, I guess, because Jay already had his chance a while ago, so maybe they might go with Jimmy Uso this time. I can see it. Funny thing, he's the more aggressive one now. He's the more crazy one now. I don't know how everything just switched, but maybe Jimmy. I don't.
Yeah, I think it is weird. It is funny too. I'm glad you mentioned that about the Usos suddenly flipping, where Jay was the one who was always hot-headed and not trusting anybody and always angry, and Jimmy was the calm, cool, collected. No, man, it's okay, dog, and just kind of making peace. And all of a sudden it flipped, and it feels kind of a little jarring, but they have all played their roles so damn well that it's not even really a complaint as much as it is just an observation. But I think if none of these returns pan out, that it's just an internal continuation of the Civil War, that we do have either a Jay or a Jimmy one-on-one against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Or a triple threat. What if it's a triple threat? I mean, it could be a triple threat with Jay, Jimmy, and Roman Reigns, and it looks like Roman is in kind of a handicap match. But I mean, I don't know. I'm throwing stuff at the wall, but it's probably going to be internal. I can't see anyone else. No Cody Rhodes, because Cody's going to be locked up with Brock, and so there's really nobody else that's got to be it. So,
and you see now, I say, the reason why Roman Reigns is going to be champion for so long, they have no other superstars to like make a great storyline with Roman Reigns to like dethrone him. Like it's we're looking at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and even beyond that, I mean, he's already going to pass the number 5 spot for the longest reigning champion of all time. So the next up would be the number 4 spot. I forget, is it Hulk Hogan's reign, or I have to look again. So they're trying to get him up in the ranks, and if they get him to WrestleMania, I believe he'll be number 4 or close to number 3 on that list.
They're cheating.
Yeah. So
they're cheating.
What's that?
I said they're cheating. They're cheating with the run. Like, see, this is I'm not gonna get too much into it because I know, but guys, they're cheating with this run. It's not fair. I don't care what nobody say. This run is not. I can't wait to drop a YouTube video on this. It's just not fair. It's not. I don't care what nobody say. 5 months. 5 months. Come on. It is not. I got so much to say.
Yeah, well, I've had this argument too with some other co-hosts on my show of, I understand why they don't have championship matches a lot for Roman. Number one, it's just a part of his actual contract with WWE. They're trying to extend his body and mind and continue his run with that, and mitigate the injury risk and burnout, and being able to have him spend time with his family. I totally get that, and good for Roman for being able to negotiate a contract like that. I'm jealous. Good for him. But at the same time, yeah, you're kind of artificially inflating his numbers when he doesn't defend the title 4 months at a time, from April until presumably early August. 4 months. I mean, are you kidding? And the thing is also, no one's even talking about it on SmackDown. Like, the wrestlers aren't talking about it. Presumably, in reality, the most important championship in WWE, that's oddly represented by 3 belts, but I don't want to get into that, is not even being talked about. Like, none of the wrestlers are like, hey, I want my shot. It's just being ignored. I mean, so everyone just suddenly has amnesia when WWE wants them to, and forgets that, hey, there's a top belt. Can I compete for that? How do I qualify? Yeah, it is egregious when he goes 4 months between defenses. I mean, like, that's 120 days of just adding and artificially to his run. So
I'm gonna say this before we get off the Roman Reigns topic. if it becomes like you said that if Roman Reigns is solo wins and for SummerSlam they do some type of part 2 and leave Roman Reigns the title match out again, I'm gonna have a huge issue.
Oh my God. Can they? Do they dare? I mean, I didn't think they'd go this long. They're going to London for a pay-per-view for the first time in how long? And there's no title match. And now I know they'll say, "Well, there's a world title match." Yeah, but the prestige of that belt has yet to be really determined. I mean, like Seth is a great champion and all that, but like, you know, the belt, the top belt is with Roman Reigns, and it's the 4-month mark coming up in August that he has not defended it. It's glaringly obvious now, and I'm not being fooled by WWE of, well, wait, no, we have a world champion competing. No. I'm not. It's like, look over here, don't look over here. No, I'm not doing that. It's unacceptable that they haven't done it. As great as this Bloodline storyline has been, he can't have just a championship match in the interim, and I don't want to hear, well, he does it at house shows. House shows are invisible to 99% of us, therefore they do not exist. And house shows. So I mean, like, yeah, no. So, yeah, it's absolutely just insane, and I'll leave it at that.
I'm laughing. House shows.
Well, people are telling me. I've had people message me. No, he's defended it at house shows. I'm like, house shows. I'm like, do you know what a house show is, dude? I'm like, house shows are made for the house, the individual cities. They are not televised for a reason because talent can do whatever they want. It's just completely out of the mainstream. It does nothing matters that happens at those events. And by the way, yes, title changes have actually happened at house shows, but they happen like once every 5 years. And it happens with a mid-card belt. It'll happen with the Intercontinental. Like, I've seen it happen. And then they bring it up on Raw, and then all of a sudden people are like, whoa, that happened at a house show? But it's so rare. And if you think there's any chance of Roman losing his belt, imagine him losing his belt at a house show. I mean, like, dude, like, so to me and to everyone listening that isn't attending the house show in person, no one gives a damn, and it does not matter at house shows. Okay, so I don't want to hear, well, no, he actually defended it in Louisville, Kentucky at a house show against Akira Tozawa or something. It's like, no, like that is irrelevant. So anyway, yeah.
Oh my God! Last thing, I hate to break it to you guys. They just use Roman Reigns for the house shows. Anyway, he's going to win just to sell tickets. I guess I had to say that. That's it.
Yeah, fair. It's fair, dude. I mean, it's, oh God. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to go off a cliff on this one, but anyway, yeah. But you know, to the final point about this Roman run, I think your original point of saying that there's no one on the roster that right now looks like they could be the one to beat him. I think WWE feels that same way, where they look around and go, you know what? We're not ending this run until someone steps up and forces us to end this run with Roman. They're looking at the roster and going, who's going to step up? Who wants to be the guy that we are forced to end the streak with Roman on? You know, so perhaps this is motivation for talent to really show management, hey, I can be that guy. It's possible WWE doesn't know at the moment who that person is that's going to beat Roman Reigns for the belt. And they're looking around going, somebody force us to. Somebody show us. Give us a reason to end this streak, and we will. But until that time, until someone can show us that they are on the level of Roman or could carry this belt or make us the same amount of money that Roman Reigns is making us right now with T-shirts and ratings that go through the roof every time he's on, then there's no reason for him to stop it. And I totally get it from a business perspective. It's frustrating as a fan because you're just like, oh my God, this is never going to end. At the same time, there's still a bunch of guys he hasn't worked with that are going to be super interesting when he does. And he's a ratings draw and he's a cash cow. So I understand why they don't.
Yep, I agree with you.
All right. Well, before we wrap things up, is there anything, it doesn't even have to be about the pay-per-view itself, but anything just WWE-wise or wrestling-wise that you wanted to talk about or mention before we close it out?
Yes, I have one thought that they've been circling around social media yesterday. I just want to hear your thought about this. Somebody, I guess, inside WWE said that they're planning for a big, like, upset.
Mm.
Do you have any opinion or anything about that one? Because a big upset, they known for doing that. So
yeah, that leads me to believe that they have caught on to one of two things: the general belief that the LA Knight's going to win. They could upset that and have Damian win, or somebody else, or it's the Cody Rhodes and Dominic matchup that most people believe that Dominic is going to win via Brock Lesnar interference. And in fact, you can actually have Cody win. And but is Cody winning really an upset? No, Cody should beat Dom. That's not an upset. Mm-hmm. It's just it upset from the perspective of what most people believe the finish is going to be. So that if that's true that WWE does have this quote upset, major upset, it could be LA Knight not winning, and it could be somebody else in the match. It could be Logan Paul winning. I don't want it, but I could see them doing it. That would be a major upset. And you know what? And I'll just say this lastly about LA Knight too, that if LA Knight doesn't win, they could still go the road of having him compete for championships and start to push him and start to do things. It's not the end of the road for LA Knight if he doesn't win. And I think WWE is testing the fans to see, hey, we did not put LA Knight in our plans for main event. If the fans truly want this, have them consistently show us. Have them make us put him in the main event. And maybe they are testing the fans on a consistent basis, not just like, oh, LA Knight got a big pop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but he didn't get a big pop in Chicago. What's going on? If we show consistency, I think that's what they're looking for. So when it comes to the upset, it's either Dom and Cody or it's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
That's fair play. Yeah, that's fair play. Yep.
Did you have another thought on what this upset could be?
Yeah.
If it's true?
Seth Rollins losing.
Ooh. Yeah, well, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, people have been talking about this, and I see why. Drew could maybe come to the aid of Seth, and if the Judgment Day are beating him down after the match, and you could have Drew come out and look like he's going to help Seth, and then we have a Drew McIntyre heel turn. That has been floated around for several weeks now. And having Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam would be a hell of a matchup with a heel Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. Yes, that would be great. Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, man. So many returns, so many turns, so many like babyface heel turns. I mean, we've got Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. We've got Drew McIntyre returning at this event. Guys, you should check this out. We've got this booked. We've got this pay-per-view booked for you guys. I mean, so you guys better get ready. Yeah, but ultimately, do I think all three are going to happen? No, it's maybe one. One of these are going to happen. Yeah, one out of the three are most likely going to happen, and it's most likely Brock, and then Randy, I think, it probably goes in order of possibility. Brock's most likely, followed by Drew, then followed by Randy, I think, if you're going to ask me about potentials, and then Big E. I actually have no idea where Big E is on the injury, the injury return timetable. I haven't heard much about Big E lately. I don't know about you.
No, I haven't heard anything. I got to do my research. I got to figure out what's going on with Big E. I will have an answer soon.
Yeah, do that, because every time I turn around, I'm like, oh, it's got to be Big E. And he did escape catastrophic injury with the neck and that overhead belly to belly and all that happened a year ago. But I mean, a neck is a thing you don't want to mess with. As big as Big E is, you still, you want to make sure you're 200% before you even think about stepping inside a wrestling ring again. So, but Big E's return is probably imminent. I mean, you'd figure, okay, you're going well over a year now, and I haven't heard anything negative come out of Big E's camp. So there's nothing, I don't think, that's that catastrophic that he won't ever return. So I don't know. But all right. Well, before we go, I want to just give you one more opportunity if you want to let everyone know about your YouTube channel and any other social media you want to share.
Yes, youtube.com/whoisfrankie or @Thomas Frank White. I will be posting a lot of things about this Money in the Bank ladder match. You guys know the community tab be on fire. Oh, you had to check my community tab out, by the way. It be on fire with everybody. So we're going to be on the community tab going crazy over there. So make sure you tune in. We're going to have a good time over there about going live for the pay-per-view and everything. So, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I need to check that out now. I can feel the energy radiating from your community tab already. I mean, like it's gonna be, especially the inspiration that you've maybe taken from some of the topics on this show. Now I think you're gonna explode over there. So it should be a whole lot of fun. I encourage everyone who's listening take a listen, as I'm all audio. Go to his YouTube channel, check out his videos. They are very entertaining. It's a reason why he's growing so quickly. So. Check it out, guys, and of course, watch with him live on Money in the Bank. It'll be a whole lot of fun and engage with his community. So, thanks so much, buddy, for coming on. This has been a blast.
Yes, it's been an amazing show. Thank you for having me once again. I can't wait to do more shows with you. I love them.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a lot of fun for both of us. It's very therapeutic. So we'll have to be we'll be connecting soon. Maybe I'll pop in the community tab for you.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
All right, buddy. You have a good night. Yep. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.